Hi everybody, welcome back to Jackie's channel about nothing. I'm making chicken soup, so I figure we'll do a chicken soup video. It's minimal ingredients, you don't really need a whole lot. You have chicken thighs with the skin on and the bone in, salt, onion, carrots, and celery. That's all I use. So the celery, I use 3 stalks, 3 carrots. You can use baby carrots if you want. I just find, for whatever reason, I think regular carrots just have better flavor. And maybe it's just me. I don't know. I've actually seen other people talk about that. I use regular carrots, but you can use the baby carrots too. And then the onion, like whatever this size is, baseball size. So there you go. And then you just chop them up. I have some of the veggies already chopped up already. You can cut your veggies however you want. Just make sure it's thin enough to cook through, really. So that's about as thin as my carrot is. Can you see that? There we go. And then about that same thickness for the carrot, for the celery. So this will be cooking for like 2 hours. So it's gonna, all that nice chickeny flavor is gonna get embedded into the veggies. Go for me. That's it. Nothing too fancy. Same with the celery. Just into these little pieces over here. Okay, now for the onion, I know there's a lot of people ask, like, how do I cut an onion without crying? That seems to be the question everybody has, myself included. When looking at a professional chef will probably tell you just to have a really, really sharp knife, and that's all you actually need. None of my knives are actual professional knives. None of them are that sharp. So another thing I heard you can do is to put an onion in the freezer for 10 minutes, and that'll help. I don't know if it actually works, but I'm not crying yet, so we'll see. There's different ways to cut an onion. You just peel the top layer off, little skin. There's a proper way to cut onions. I forgot what it was. I didn't look it up before I started this video. I think you keep this top part on. I think you just kind of cut downward like this in a circle. But I do that and I don't know. It doesn't seem easier to me than anything else. And then you cut across like this. But to me, I don't know that actually saves any time with anything. So I cut it in half and then into quarters. And then just chop it into little pieces. Again, just like with the carrots and the celery, just cut them however small or big that you want. As the soup is cooking, all the flavors are just going to come together anyway, so it's not going to be too onion-y. It's a word. Onion-y is a word. So I just chop it up into, for me, I just like the really small pieces. I have, in the background, I have my BGMC music channel on. I forget what it stands for, something music cafe. It's a jazz, like a light jazz music channel. It's just really relaxing. It's super gloomy and rainy outside, which I love. I'm a rain person. I love it when it rains. As Garbage said, I'm only happy when it rains, right? For those in their 40s that understand that reference and that song. I'm not crying too much yet, so maybe the freezer thing does work. If any professional chefs somehow come across this, I'm sorry for the way I'm cutting my onions. Not too sorry. Not enough to fix it, but I know there's a better way. I just don't have that skill, apparently. Okay. So now all of our veggies are chopped up to whatever size you're comfortable with, bite size. And now we have this over here is not parsley. This is actually the leafy stuff from the celery. So you don't want to waste that. You don't want to throw that out. And we're going to use that for flavoring. So all you do is just take it off the celery and you bunch it up. And then you're going to tie it with whatever you got. So here I have cooking twine. I use this for my turkeys. My turkey legs. Yeah. Just take this. Wrap it. Tie it in a knot. And then all you're going to do is just dump this in the pot. And it may seem like a lot, but it's really not going to be overpowering for the, it's not, your soup isn't going to taste like pure celery if you add all this. This actually just really enhances the flavors. There you go. That's it. Throw it in the pot. Alrighty, and then that's it. Throw everything into the pot. So then you take your chicken thighs. Some people don't like the skin and the bone on it, but that's where all the flavor is, so it all depends. Like, are you really worried about the fat content? Then don't put this, or use a skinless chicken, but I don't care about that. I want the flavor. So this particular packet has 3 fairly large chicken thighs. This is what they look like. If you use smaller chicken thighs, then put like 4 of them in there. But this I just need the 3. You're just putting it in your water. Take your, it's called a mirepoix mix. This carrots, celery, and onion. There's actually a word for it. It's mirepoix, I think it is. Mirepoix. Dump it in there. And salt it. A lot of it. I don't know how much. That's it. There we go. Mix it up a little bit. A little bit more salt. There we go. Now you're going to be salting it as you're going too. So we're going to bring this to a boil and then we're going to simmer this for 2 hours. So bring to a boil first and then simmer for 2 hours. After that, take a taste. If you think it needs a little more salt, just add a little bit more. Remember, you can always add more. If you do accidentally put too much salt in there, you can use a potato. Just dump it in there and let it soak up for maybe, 10-15 minutes or so. And let it soak up some of the salt. And that's it. Throw it on the stove. And then I'll come back in 2 hours and we'll finish off this video. So I moved the pot off. It came to a boil. So what I did is I moved it off the bigger burner and I put it onto the little simmer burner in the back. And basically we're just going to let it simmer for 2 hours. We're going to let that chicken cook down and let all the flavors just melt together. Also, put a lid on the top of it and then just kind of like tilt it so the steam can get out on the side. Sorry for the shoddy camera work. My phone is doing some weird funky things and I'm just trying to juggle my tablet here. So there we go. And then this is what it looks like now. You can notice there's some stuff that's like gathering up on top of it. The like that brown whatever. You just scrape it off the top and discard it. So every now and then I'll just take a spoon and mix it up a little bit. I don't even know that you have to do that, but I do. And yeah, so in a couple hours, this is going to be done. What I'll do is I'll take the chicken apart, shred it, and then I'll discard the bones and the skin, and then I'll put the shredded chicken back into the soup, let that simmer for about another 10-20 minutes or so, and then make the noodles and chow. All right. Okay, it's been 2 hours, and our soup has been simmering, and this is what it looks like. Got that nice color to it. That is from your chicken skin and bones creating that flavor. Now is also a really good time to test your salt. Oh, okay, that's good. I don't need to add any. There's not too much. It actually worked out from the beginning, so yay! Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take the chicken out, remove the skin and the bone, and then shred it, and then put the shredded chicken back in. Now, some people don't put the shredded chicken back in. They want to eat the chicken separately. That's fine, too. I do pick at the pieces. It's very, very, very good. So we're going to take the chicken out. Oh, got a little bit of celery there. And you'll see the skin just comes right off. Just slides right off. And then same thing with the bone. Just comes right off. Look at that. Nice and tender. There we go. We'll set the skin and the bone aside. And then just take your fork, or whatever, you could use a spoon. You could even use a spoon, it's so tender. And then just shred pieces. You can shred it, you can cut it into little pieces, whatever it is that you want to do. I cut it down a little bit so that it, when you scoop it with your spoon, like you don't have like long shreds of chicken. So I just kind of cut it in half here. Bam. Okay, that's good. All right. And then take your shredded chicken and just put it back into your soup. We got one more piece in here. If I can get it. Oh, there goes the skin. So the skin's already removed. You don't have to do that. So we'll just break this. Oh, there goes part of the chicken. All right, well, someone's soup is going to have a huge chunk of chicken in there. That's okay. We're just going to, look at that, falls right off the bone. Okay, set that aside. We're going to shred this. Bonnie is here. She's sniffing around. She smells something. I don't think you can have dark meat chicken, dear. I know you can't have dark meat turkey. So I don't think the chicken is going to be good for you either. Not dark meat anyway. Cut these little pieces down. Hi, Bonnie Bean. All right. And then scoop this back up and put it into your soup. I'm getting there. I don't know. It's taking me so long here. Here we go. All right. Mix it up. There we go. Now I've got our little shredded pieces of chicken inside the soup. Throw this back onto the stove. And really, the soup is ready to eat right now. You don't have to simmer it for another 15-20 minutes or so. I do, but it's technically ready now. I'll just simmer it until the noodles are ready. Now, in terms of the noodles, I use the wide egg noodles. You can use whatever soup noodle you choose. That's what I use. So you just take whatever your serving size you want. I think the serving size is 2 ounces, 2.5 ounces. boil it salt water for 10 minutes, drain it, and add your soup. So you add your salt when the pot starts boiling. This is for the noodle. You can see it's starting to simmer there. So, I'm sorry, I can't get my salt thing open there. Okay, so here we have our salt or our water for our egg noodles. And I'm just going to add a little salt in there. You always want to salt your pasta. That'll be good. And then dump your noodles in. Set the timer for 10 minutes. This is for the extra wide egg noodles. And just cook those down. That's it for the noodle. And this is what the soup looks like. It's so yummy. Forgot my spoon. Here we go. There we go. That's it. So that is a very simple and straightforward chicken noodle soup. And like I said before, I mean, if there's like certain ingredients that you really like, you feel free to add and remove as you will. Make sure you check your salt. Don't put too much in the first place. You can always add it. And if you do accidentally add too much, throw the potato in if you have one, and that'll soak up the salt. So, just one more thing before I sign off here. If you wanted to cool off your soup really quick so that you can portion it out or just keep it in the fridge, I mean, you don't want to put the soup in the fridge hot because that'll drop the temperature of your fridge, and you don't want to do that. So, just a little suggestion here. What you can do is fill up your sink with cold water and then put the pot of soup in there and then just kind of let it sit there for about a half hour. I changed the water out once because the water was getting warm, obviously, because the pot was really hot. So I changed out the water once, and then so just let it sit there for a little bit till the soup cools down, and then you can portion it off into Ziploc bags. You can use that and just throw those in the freezer. Sometimes people use their food saver, or you can put it in plastic, Tupperware containers or something. So just wanted to add that little tidbit in there, and I hope that this was helpful for you and you have a nice, simple chicken soup recipe for the rest of the winter. Have a good one. Bye.